Norris, I got another video here, man. New episode, another album reaction. The year just started, the first of the month. Happy New Year's to everybody. Obviously, there isn't any 2025 albums to do yet. Definitely, I want to do as many as I can anytime a new album pops up. But for the most part, I'm going to do a lot of 23, 24 albums, at least what's left, because I've covered a lot of 24 albums last year. I know there's a few 23 albums that I want to cover that I didn't get to for 24. So just like I do with every other episode, I take 4 tracks off of every album, play out a few seconds of the song to give you guys a quick example. Then I start talking about the album, breaking it down in my own point of view. I have a rating at the end of the video out of 10, a little bit of a conclusion at the end of the video. For today's episode, we're gonna do the new album by Walka. Yeah, so that's the name of the album, Dat Boy Den. I know he has a song with that same name on the album. That's the name of the album. Before I start playing out the songs, the new track Single Player Gaming by me, that song is dropping on the 4th of January. This is the first single I'm dropping for this year. Hopefully you guys get to listen to everything that I post. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. Try to put out the best quality music I possibly can. But Single Player Gaming, January 4th, new album, lights, camera, actors. I released a cover art not too long ago. That's the official cover for the new album I'm releasing later on this year, June 4th. Make sure you check that album out later on this year. I'm playing all of the songs off of his YouTube page because he doesn't have a SoundCloud. It doesn't look like. So all of these songs are playing off of his YouTube channel. Walka, Dat Boy Den, 2024 album. The first song I'm gonna play, this song's called I'm Like That.
The bitch riding me, I don't right back. She trying to eat me for a light snake, but I'm trying to charge her them greenbacks. Yes, I'm cutting that.
The next track I'll play, this one's called I Just Wanna.
Fuck you. I just wanna fuck you. If we ain't getting money after that, then I won't touch you. I don't wanna Netflix, I don't wanna cuddle.
This one's called OnlyFans.
Post up to my Twitter, we might make 300 bands. She wanna ride on that horse.
So this is the last track I'll play. This one's called PTSD, featuring Money Man.
Putting that shit down, I spent $1 million on gold. Putting that shit down, I made $1 million bankrolls.
Alright, man, so Walka, he's a rapper from Houston, Texas. So he has a very similar style and flow to Big X, The Plug, and That Mexican OT. They're all from the same state, so it's no surprise that they rap the same. Their beat selection is very similar too. They rap to the similar sounding beats. Honestly, man, with Walka, I think his rapping is not good at all, really. I'm not a fan of his rapping. The beats stand out, but the beats aren't even that good as well. I think the beats stand out because of how bad Walka is at rapping, man. I think the biggest thing with him is his performance game. When he performs his raps, recording it or actually performing it live, his actual performance of his verses is what stands out. Not so much his like pen game and his metaphor simile game, just his overall songwriting, I feel like is a little bit on like the cheap side, and it's more of like a money grabber, sell type of songwriting. It's not the type of songwriting where he's trying to make different songs. You know what I'm saying? I think his rapping is like not good, man. Like he has his moments on a few tracks where he's sort of going off, but like out of the 3, Big X, The Plug, That Mexican OT, his style sounds very similar to those rappers, but I think he's the worst rapper out of those 3. Similar sounding, it's like a poor man's version of Big X, The Plug, and That Mexican OT, man. It's just like what he's saying doesn't carry any value. The majority of like what he's saying, he talks about a lot of street stuff, dealing drugs, talks a lot about guns, doing a bunch of like criminal activity. Besides like grinding and making money, trying to be successful, talking about getting girls, besides those 2 things, everything else that he talks about has no value, no significance. You can't learn anything from it. It's just a bunch of nonsense, really, that he talks about. on most of the songs throughout the album, and it's really the up-tempo beat that's making the record as good as it is. It's like the main standout out of the whole album. The production, the biggest reason for that is because of how poor Sauce Walka's songwriting is overall, and it makes the beats sound even better because the beats are actually not that good either. They stand out because of how bad of a songwriter Sauce Walka is. That's one thing I've noticed about this album. He has his moments. There are songs at times where he's spitting, he's actually saying some stuff, but like for the majority of the album, he's not the best rapper at all. Everything about this album just sounds rushed. It sounds like when it came to like the writing process of the album, that part sounds rushed. Everything afterwards, the post-production, everything that the engineer did in terms of mastering the music, that part sounds professional. That part sounds like it was done at a high level. I keep saying Sauce Walka is like, I don't want to say he's like complete trash at writing. He's probably one of the worst rappers I've heard so far out of all the albums that I've done. He's definitely one of the worst rappers, man. He has a good flow, Texas flow, so that style always works. His performance, he has a lot of energy when he records his vocals and performs his verses. You can definitely see and hear the energy that he brings, which is a definite plus, because like sometimes you'll have rappers rapping in a very monotone level and it gets a little boring. When you listen to his music, you'll never get bored of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely has that ability when it comes to making music. He can make his music very entertaining. He has that like party anthem skill. He can make club bangers if he wants to. Most of the songs on the album sound more like club bangers rather than songs that you can sit down and really pay attention to, and like songs that you would hear from like Kendrick Lamar or Lupe Fiasco. You gotta sit down and pay attention to every single line. He's like the complete opposite of that. His music's more like songs that you play during like festivals and during like parties and clubs, and you want to get a bunch of people hyped up, partying and dancing. Like that's the music that you play, which is like not a bad thing at all. It's just the style of it, right? What it's like made for. He tries to make songs that go crazy in terms of how popular they get. He's that type of rapper. He's like a money maker type of rapper, so it's definitely understandable why he would make his music the way he makes it. Definitely not for like hip-hop heads. Just like Big X the Plug, that Mexican OT, most Texas rappers sort of rap the same way. They have like the same beat selection overall, so like he makes every song sound the same. He's another Texas rapper, so definitely he's gonna make his music that way. That's the culture and sound in that area. Everybody wants to hear almost like the same song every time. A lot of the songs on the album sound like the same thing. There's actually a couple of songs on the album that literally sound like the same song. I Just Wanna and Free the Drippers. Those are the two songs. They sound exactly the same, man. The same beat, the same flow, and what he's talking about is the only thing that makes the songs different. That happens a lot throughout the album, which is like a bad thing in my opinion. Makes him sound like a poor man's version of that Mexican OT and Big X the Plug, because you listen to these guys, they're using the same formula Sauce Walka's using, but they're actually spitting, man. Like you listen to their lines, it's like they're actually putting together lines that really make you think, and at the same time they can be club bangers. So like sounds like Sauce Walka was literally just going after the club bangers and trying to make something that's gonna blow up, get everybody to talk about it. And the beat selection, a lot of the beats sound the same way, just like I was saying, like another Texas rapper, so a lot of the beats are gonna sound the same so that Sauce Walka can use the same signature flow that he uses on the majority of his music. That's what he's used to. That's what his fans are used to. That's what's gonna make the money. He's more of a money maker type of rapper. It's not really a negative or a positive thing, because that's like the Texas rap sound. You're getting like the same song every time with like a slight difference. That's their culture. That's their sound in Texas. So it's not really a negative or a positive thing, but he could have went outside of that and try to make a slightly different sound that we're not used to hearing from Sauce Walka. The main reason why I don't like his rapping skills, maybe just this album, there's a lot of like grammar mistakes when he's rapping. A lot of his lines don't make any sense because of like grammar errors. If he paid more attention to like his songwriting, paid more attention to like the grammar, so then a lot of his lines would make a little more sense. It was throwing me off while listening to the album, the way he'll put his words together. So that's another thing that's like making his rapping sound a lot worse than it can be. That might be part of why I think the overall production, the tracks, just overall sounds rushed. It's just like poor songwriting. It sounds like they put every song together in a short amount of time. When it came to looking for post-production engineer to master the music and make it sound like radio quality, it's like they put a bunch of money into that. All the mistakes gets corrected by the post-production engineer, and it makes the album sound so much better than it originally sounded. It's like he freestyled everything in a sense. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually did. It sounds like his songwriting was all freestyles, and they really just paid their way to make the album sound super high quality so that it sells the way it sells. He does have his moments. There's like a few tracks on the album where I think he's actually dropping some gems and he's actually spitting way better than I thought he could. Yeah, just like 3, maybe 4 tracks out of 18 altogether, right? Definitely on the club banger side, this is something that you'll hear at like festivals, just big like shows where there's like thousands of people. They're looking to go to like a show where they can party and have fun. That's what this album's about. A fun album to listen to, get turned up. This is the perfect album for that. In terms of a rating, I'm giving this one a 7.1 out of 10. It's a pretty bad rating, and it's probably a lot worse than what you guys thought I was gonna give it. There's nothing about the album that holds any significance. There's nothing about the album that you can like learn from, you know what I mean? It's just a bunch of party anthems and have fun moments all throughout. The songs talking about like drugs and guns and girls getting money. I mean, like the getting money part that's probably like the only thing that you can learn from the album, but besides that, it's really just an album that you shouldn't take too serious, just like party and have fun too. So 7.1 out of 10. Sauce Walka, Dat Boy Den, another album reaction, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode here. Hopefully the new year goes well for you. Everybody stays on their New Year's resolutions and all that. I really appreciate you guys watching today's episode. Look out for the new song Single Player Gaming dropping for the 4th of January. I got a lot of songs coming for you guys this year, man. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Also, this year should be a good one, man. So yeah, that's all I got for this one, and I'm out of here. Peace.